All right, happy Friday. You guys know the routine. I'm gonna take a minute, get some people on here. How's everybody doing? Crazy week this week. Interesting week this week, but eager to talk about some of this stuff. Because it's just been kind of, I don't know, weird is strange. Like the only thing I can really think of. Um, but how's everybody doing? If you jump on, let me know you're out there in the old interweb land. Say hello. Just sharing this out to a few people. Let's get some people on. I want to hear what you guys' thoughts are on some of the topics that we're going to cover today. uh, June. June is PTSD Awareness Month. And so make sure you do a buddy check. We're going to get into that here in just a few minutes. If you get this, tag some people. Tag your buddy. Let them know that it's a PTSD Awareness Month. Have them share it. Share this because some of the topics that we're going to talk about today, I think, are going to be another one of those. It's going to be one of those days, folks. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm warning you. It's just going to be one of those days. So jump on, say hello, let me know you're out there. PTSD Awareness Month. We're pretty much aware. I think we are aware. It's been going around for a while. You don't see a whole lot of people talking about it. Well, I take that back. My son had mentioned, a lot of the veteran community, I think, is doing it. But I said last week that I would recognize PTSD Awareness Month. I'd bring it up every week, and there's something specifically I want to talk about today with it. Ken, good morning, brother. Always good to have you on. Appreciate you. And I owe you coffee. I know I'm slacking, and I apologize. So it's probably going to get you an extra bag for free. So there you go. And I said it here, so now I have to, right? But make sure you do a buddy check. Guys guys and gals that you haven't talked to maybe in a while, just reach out to them. Let them know that you're there, and yeah, let's bring that. I don't even know what the number is now. A lot of people said it was 22 a day. The number fluctuates or whatnot. Let's be about. We have the awareness of it, but what are we doing about it? What are some things that we can do now? And there's a concept. There's a theory out there called PTG, post traumatic growth, and that's taking a big thing kind of by storm right now. A couple weeks ago, about a month ago, I think, I did a show on the Decision Hour where I interviewed a former Tier 1 sniper, Jeff DePazzi. And we talked about the lost theory of PTSG, which post-traumatic growth. The current narrative is that adversity that's so challenging that it could be called traumatic is to be avoided, and it does happen. Being different on the other side of it must be bad. Well, it turns out there's quite a lot of psychological benefits to going through the hard thing, even if it was too much too soon. So there's an organization that's tackling and spreading the word of PTG head on. They're creating a documentary that explores how to grow and evolve despite hardships or because of them. It's a film called Post Traumatic Growth Film. And I'm going to put this on here right now. It's a short film, and they're actually trying to finish this trailer and stuff right now. So if you feel obligated, you want to be a part of it, let them know. But I'll put that there. But post-traumatic growth, and I'm seeing several other people talking about it, as well, in the veteran community particularly. But PTSD is not necessarily just for veterans. I mean, anybody can get it if you've gone through traumatic experience, but I think you see it a lot in the veteran community and potentially the first responder community. So I encourage you all to check it out. Post-traumatic growth. It's pretty interesting. This is a good documentary that they're working on. I got to see some early clips of it, and it's pretty neat. So check it out. Excuse me. So this week, weird things happened this week, right? And I was trying. I was putting the show notes and stuff together today. I was like, I don't want to be too political on stuff, and I don't want to, whatever. There's a lot going on. I guess the fires in Canada. I don't know where we got viewers. You guys watch this show. We got viewers all over the country. I'm out in the northeast, and it's been really, really smoky out here. Like, you walk outside, it's really fog. It's like a fog, real dense. You can smell the smoke and whatnot. Visibility is low. I have some friends that are in Canada right now, where they're being affected by the fire. A good friend of mine whom I spoke with yesterday, she had to move her horses and whatnot. And, so I started researching more about the fires in Canada. And then, of course, you get, when you start researching this stuff, you have kind of people making off the wall comments. But I'm seeing more off the wall comments. Like, it just wasn't nature. This was planned. Some of them were supposed to be controlled burned, allegedly, that just kind of jumped and got out of control. But I saw the last number was somewhere in the realms of 9.4 million acres. Don't quote me on that, but I read that somewhere yesterday, where roughly over 9 million acres have been burned. A lot of people obviously are being evacuated and stuff right now. And then, just for fun, some of the comments that I've read were like, "Hey, this is planned. They're trying to get you." They're purposely moving you out of the country and want you into these cities, and et cetera, et cetera. But I'll put that on there, fires in Canada and whatnot. And now it's cleared up today. It's cleared up a little bit today. It was very windy yesterday up here in the Northeast, so I think a lot of that stuff had pushed through. But hopefully Canada can get some rain, and these fires can get under control. And if you know anybody up in Canada that's being affected by this, yeah, let us know what your thoughts are, what you've heard from them on it. It's got my eye on this one. It's been pretty interesting. I guess I'm going to tie this in with the Canada fires. So 15-minute cities. I'm not sure if you guys have heard me talk about this before. I don't remember if I've mentioned it on the weekly wrap-ups before. But there's been a concept that's going around. Honestly, it's been around for quite a while. Is a 15-minute city. What is a 15-minute city? 15-minute city is you're living somewhere where you have access to pretty much everything within a 15-minute bike ride or a 15-minute walk. What does that sound like? Again, not being conspiracy theorists or anything like that. Take a look it up. But it's been pretty interesting reading more and more about it, and you're seeing more and more about it around or outside of U.S. news outlets. I found this, there was one actually through the World Economic Forum's website, which you guys know I'm such a big fan of theirs. Anyway, it was interesting putting this together and seeing about what they see of these 15-minute cities, what they entail, it makes it sound like they want everybody in one centralized area, and you can't go outside of your 15-minute area where a certain range or whatnot. So it's a little conspiracy, but check it out. It was an interesting read. My question to you is, would you live in a city like that? Some of us already live in big cities like that. You know, you take big cities like LA or New York, and I pick on those two because those are obviously fairly large cities, particularly New York. If you've ever been in New York City, you got to get around. It's you know, a lot of it spans out and upwards. Um, would you live in a 15-minute city? Would you think of that as being convenient, where everything you need to go and everything that you really need, your education, food, um, you know, you don't really need gas or anything like that, but everything that you need shopping wise is in a 15-minute area. I kind of looked at things like that. Uh, you know, anywhere I move, I try to find myself where, hey, I'm not too far from certain things that I need, but I'm also far enough away to where you have a little bit of privacy. I don't know. That's my opinion. But what are you guys' thoughts on a 15-minute city? Um, big news yesterday. And I haven't really read much about it, but Trump got indicted on the classified document case. Have you guys been looking at that? Why are they putting that out now? Just putting that out there. So, classified documents case there at Mar-a-Lago. I think he had some stuff down there. So start paying attention to the news again, and what's going on. Um, moving on. Yesterday, or I saw this yesterday. I believe it happened yesterday in France. I don't know if you guys have saw this, but there was a gentleman running around a playground with a knife, stabbing. He ended up stabbing several kids and a couple of adults. Now, the last article I read this morning was that the kids are recovering at a local hospital there. Put the link up there for you guys to check out. But yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on. What's sick people? Ken, big cities. Yeah, they are. See, and I agree. Back to the city. I mean, I got to comment on that. I lived in Phoenix for 13 years, just outside of Phoenix for 13 years. It wasn't bad. Phoenix is very spread out, and I would say Phoenix is one of the easiest areas to get around in because it's basically on a grid square. Now you come out east and you go to city. I was just down in DC. I spend a lot of time in DC, unfortunately, and I hate driving down there. Hate it. I don't like using the word hate. Hate it. Freaking hate driving in DC or Northern Virginia. It is a complete and utter shit show. The way the road systems are down there. So I couldn't even imagine living down there. It just, I want land. I want to be out in the country. I don't mind a few neighbors several miles down the road, but whatever. Anyway, Knife Man in France, special place in hell for a guy like that. Don't do that. That's bad. Gabe, what's up, brother? How are you? Are you home yet, or are you still on the road? Something else that caught my eye was there was another UFO article. Now, here's the thing. I tried to say this with a straight face. There is UFOs, another UFO incident or whatnot, and I think I am predicting, and I think there's been other people, if you look online, I think you're going to start seeing more and more UFO stuff coming up in the next couple of years. Why is that? Look it up. I'm not going to say why. Just start researching UFOs, and if I had money to put on it, I would say you're probably going to see more and more UFOs in the mainstream media. Let me be clear. Mainstream media is going to do. Why would they do that? That is my question. AJ, what's up, brother? Let's see here. I'm not getting views. Yeah, see, and I agree with you there, AJ. It's too congested there. There's just too much going on. Yeah, even I've noticed a little bit of a change in myself when I moved out east here. I mean, I obviously we still got plays down in Arizona. We go back there, but yeah. Gabe, are you talking about the UFOs? Is that a way to instill fear? Is that what you're talking about? Because I am. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'll say it now. I think it's a way to instill fear. But yeah. So keep leaving the comments, guys. Make sure you guys share this too, because I'm talking about UFOs and the Trump. I mentioned Trump and 15-minute cities, so you know damn well that they're gonna you know silence it. Ken, distraction from the real issues plaguing our nation. Yeah. You want to give what exactly would you say is plaguing the nation right now? What would you say is the big topic? It's funny to me because you when you go to these news organizations and whatnot, and everybody's the same, and it's the titles of this are the same in a lot of these different categories. Start looking outside of the United States. Start looking for news organizations outside of the U.S. and seeing what they're saying. It's really kind of the easiest way to see what's really going on, um, and what other people are saying about the U.S. right now. Yeah, political divide. Okay, yeah, and you're starting to see more and more of it. The Republican Party. There's been former Vice President Mike Pence just said that he's going to be running. What was it? The governor of New Jersey, like Chris Christie, I think, said he's going to be running for president now for the Republican Party. DeSantis finally came out last week and said that he's going to be running. Trump is obviously doing. I think, and then you have an indicted case on Trump that just popped up. Yesterday, the day before, or this might have been this morning. And it seems like, man, it's like you put the puzzle pieces together. I mean, they're giving you all the pieces. They're just kind of breaking it up. And once you start putting the puzzle pieces together, again, don't take my word for it, folks. It's just one of those things that you got to research. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. You got to research yourself. And with that research, one of the things you guys probably remember, if you watched the show last week, I talked about what's the definition of United States. And one of the things, if you look up UCC 9-307H, it says in black and white, it's the U.S. code, the location of the United States, and I quote, the United States is located in the District of Columbia. And if you look up, I believe it's 28-3002 of the U.S. Code, the United States means, the definition of United States is a federal corporation. Again, I'm sharing this with you guys. I'm asking you to share this because they're going to silence me on this. They've done it before. They'll do it again. So check it out. Don't believe me. Look it up. And in fact, I will, just to go one further, I will post this link again, just so you guys have it, and you can Google that code that I just put up there, from Cornell Law. Let me catch up here. What do we have here? Ken, they got a better chance of winning. Ken, are you gonna throw your name in the hat? That's kind of how I read that message there, Ken. I'd vote for you. I'd vote for you. Let me see here. I love it. Keep them coming. Keep them coming, guys. Gabe, agree. Yep, I agree. It's just everything's getting divided, and it's It's unreal. Look up conservation. Yep, I did, Gabe. We'll get to that. I'll get to that in actually the episode that I did this week. AJ, we need nature. Check out the 3-day effect. It's about that suffering. Oh wow, yeah, yeah. And AJ, you're bringing up a good point too. And one of the shows talk about it this week. Getting out. I had a well, actually, it's not this week. I lied. It's in 2 weeks. I talked with an organization. I did do an interview this week with an organization called Wild Ops. If you go to wildops.org, they take vets out to like Montana and really several other places across the country, like fly fishing and stuff. But there's a very specific veteran niche that they look for, and it's kind of like the guys that and gals that don't want to be found. Those are the ones that they're looking for to work with and whatnot. But I'm a big proponent of being outdoors. I love being outside. I love fishing, hunting, and just being out in nature is therapeutic. And there's a lot to say that more and more people need to do it, in my opinion. More and more people need to do it. So check those out. And Gabe, I'll look that up. But look up. I'm giving you guys tools to do the research yourself. Take the time and actually look it up. Some of the stuff is very easy to read, and I'll elaborate more on the U.S. codes and stuff like I did last week, because that episode I'm going to talk about that here in just a few minutes. We got a new sponsor. In fact, AJ, I don't know if you're still on, but my buddy AJ Richards, great guy. I've known him now for a hot minute, several years. Blessed to call him a friend. But his company, Feed the People, Buy the People, great organization. They have come on board as a network sponsor for the remainder of the year, and we are just proud to be partnering up with them. If you don't know who your local farmers are or your local ranchers are, get in touch with Feed the People, Buy the People. Or if you do know who they are, get them on Feed the People, Buy the People website. They got like a directory of stuff. You type in the area where you're at, and they will tell you where your local ranchers and farmers are. And he's just doing an absolutely amazing job with this. I've got a couple of people reaching out to them and this is how things grow. This is how we start supporting people in your local areas as organizations like this and whatnot. So by all means, folks, please go check them out. AJ, if I had a hat on, I'd tip a hat to you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Oh, I appreciate you too. Yeah. Keep up the good work. What else do we have? Hey, again, I give a shout out to our friends over at Team Atto. They got that 2022 custom Ford Bronco. Only 5,000 tickets. They're doing the drawing end of September. I think September 29th, September 30th, something like that. $100 for a ticket. Only 5,000 tickets are being sold. You win the custom Ford Bronco and $10,000 cash for tax, tags, and registration. Go check out Team Atto. They're doing some great things. Absolutely love that organization. Coffee, I'd be reluctant not to promote our stuff. You can't really see it because the lighting sucks today, but we're running out of coffee right now. We got a new order of green beans coming in, hopefully here in the next 2 weeks, but we are running low. Right now we have Brazilian, Patrol, First Dew, and then some whole beans and some of the other stuff, but we're really low. So if you want to jump on right now, today only, if you jump on, sign up for the subscription now that it's fixed. Use promo code HMG. I'll knock 10% off today only. So if you go hmgcoffee.com or hmgbeverage.com, use promo code HMG. I'm going to give you 10% off today. All right? So go check that out. New show coming to HMG. How many gamers are there out there? This is actually a question. I need to make this a separate post. How many of you play games, whether they're board games, video games, What type of games do you guys play? Keep it clean. I know some of you got dirty minds out there. What type of games do you guys play? Well, there's a new show coming to HMG, and uh, Warrior GMR podcast. It's a unique platform that's passionately dedicated to promoting health, wellness, strong sense of community within overlapping spheres of veteran gaming enthusiasts and budding entrepreneurs. This is such a cool concept. Check them out. If you go to heroesmediagroup.com, you'll see Warrior GMR, and they have a YouTube channel. Just look up Warrior GMR on YouTube. Some of their shows are there right now, but they're bringing their stuff over to HMG here in the next couple of weeks. So we're super stoked to have them on board. Triple free. You're ridiculous. You guys bust. All right. Before I get into, well, actually, I'm gonna start off with pushing back chaos, talking about fatherhood, because I want to tie into a conversation that I had with my son this week, who's home. So let's just talk about parenting. Let's talk about fatherhood and fathering for a second. So I'm going to share a personal story here. You know, my, little bird's been home for a couple weeks on break. He's getting ready to leave, and he's got some military stuff coming up this summer. He's going to a couple schools and whatnot. But he's, you guys remember when you were, 20 years old, 21 years old, 19 to 20, 21. You didn't want to hang out with your parents, or it wasn't that you didn't want to hang out with your parents. It just like you kind of hit a point where it's like, okay, I need to get back to my life and doing my thing. I'm at that point as a father. I'm at that point with Junior right now, and I share this because I think a lot of other people that are fathers will go through this. A lot of guys that I know that are fathers, kids are younger, and I get calls asking me, hey, what would you do? What'd you do with your son? Blah blah blah. And I get it. We kind of had a heart to heart, and there's times where I feel bad because I feel like he's home and he's bored, and I have to work, and his mom has to work and get some. We have to work, and we try to keep him busy, or we try to plan some stuff, and he's home for a long period of time, and he gets kind of like antsy and wants to do his own thing, and we had kind of that. A talk the other day where he finally laid it out to me. It was a great conversation with him, and I certainly appreciated what a good young man that he has. I will say that about my son. He is turned into a fine young man. I'm super proud of him. But he told me, he's like, Dad, I don't want you to think I don't appreciate the stuff that you guys do. There are times where I need to go back and there's stuff that I want to do and kind of live my own life. And I totally get that because I was the same way when I was that age. Do you guys remember being that? Were you ever like that? If you came home from college or the military or whatnot, like you're going to visit family, and then you kind of hit that peak where it's like, okay, I can visit family for so many days, and then I need to get back and doing my own thing. And I was proud of him for approaching me with that, and it kind of ties into pushing back chaos this week. They talked about fathering, and Melon and Raph dive into the topic, because they're both fathers themselves, and their kids are much younger than my son is, but they talk enthusiastically about the challenges of doing the hardest part of parenting, which usually involves just being present, and they discuss the challenges they face as fathers in their early stages, understanding the balance of love and discipline, and now seeing the fruits of their labor bloom today. How many of you guys out there that are parents remember that? You have to find that balance of love and discipline. And then more importantly, just being there, showing up, spending time with your kids, and that's what ultimately kids want. I think you will find that most kids, they don't care about, I'm buying this, I'm buying. You can't. There's an old saying, you can't buy love. You really can't. Spending time with your kids, even if it's like, I get it. You work 40 hours, 50 hours, 60 hours a week. By the time you come home, if they're younger, it's you make dinner and you make sure their homework's done, and then you put them to bed. I mean, that's, I did that for years. I was a single father for many years, and it's not easy. Parenting is not easy, but it's worth it. It's being a parent, I think, is the greatest joy in the world. So that's what they're talking about this week. Pushing back chaos. It's all about fathering. Check it out. On the other side of the firewall, they do a show every day, and it's freaking awesome. I absolutely love it. This Monday was North Korea hackers impersonating journalists. Yeah, pay attention to this, guys. North Korean hackers impersonating journalists. Tuesday, they're talking about the debt ceiling agreement that impacts cybersecurity. Wednesday, they're talking about environmental justice and expanding broadband. Very interesting episode. So check this out. This other side of the firewall. They got some great episodes. I love that they do this. It's if you're not into, or if you're not familiar with stuff from a tech side of thing with the computers, this is a great show to listen to and learn from. So check it out, the other side of the firewall. Go check out our friends Wheelchairs for Warriors. I love what this organization is doing. Go check out their website, wheelchairsforwarriors.org. Misfit Nation. This is a great show. Just talked to this gentleman this morning. This week, or actually yesterday's episode, Dennis McCurdy with Suck It Up Cupcake. I freaking love this. Dennis is an author, speaker, businessman, real estate investor, financial advisor, small town boy who sucked it up and found his way without role models, mentors, or education. He succeeded on the learn as you go plan. There's so many things that I have in common with this gentleman. I absolutely understand that way of thinking because I was kind of the same way. Great episode, Misfit Nation podcast. Go check it out. And listen, guys, don't forget all the shows that you are favorite shows that you want to listen to or whatnot. Go to heroesmediagroup.com, click on podcasts, gives you a list of the entire shows that are on the network. I just kind of go over the ones that got the most recent episodes that have come out. So that's why we do this. Next up, we got the Decision Hour. Pay attention. Share this. You're going to love this. Finding True Freedom with Brandon Joe Williams. What does freedom look like to you? I sit down with State National of California, author and common law lawyer, the founder of Amnesty Coalition, a group that aims to address the slave state framework that is created by webs of legal contracts and documents like birth certificates, social security cards, and the U.S. citizen fraud system. Warning, this does come with a warning. This episode is going to expose you to things most likely you've never seen or heard of before. It might be a lot to take in. In fact, it's going to be a lot to take in. As always, we say don't take our word for it. Look it up yourself. That being said, I posted the article earlier from Cornell Law of some of the things that we discussed. One of the things was U.S. citizen versus a United States of American citizen, and how that affects your basic rights. Different definitions of United States. Where is it located? And stuff like that. This kind of starts to tear down the rabbit hole. This is a 2-hour-long episode, and it's only part one of a 2 to 3 part series. So it's very interesting. It's very eye-opening, and it's something everybody should learn. So check it out. That's the Decision Hour. Next up, we got Environmentally Speaking. This one was a weird topic, but it's a new kind of compost. It's composting of the last variety. What do I mean? Death. Have you ever thought about composting your body after you die? Some people are buried in cemeteries. Some are cremated. What if you could compost your body? Well, I think some of you may have seen that you actually like be buried in a pod and it grows a tree kind of thing, kind of that same concept. So check it out. Environmentally speaking, it's a new kind of compost. It's the last one. Next up, we got the MSEC podcast, Military Child Education Coalition. This week, the Military Interstate Children's Compact Commission, or the Compact, provides for the uniform treatment of military children transferring between school districts and states. Lindsay DeBlow discusses how and when the Compact applies and what to do when you encounter education transition issues. So, again, if you have kids of age that are still in school, you should be following Military Child Education Coalition. They have a ton of great resources, especially if you are currently active duty. Next up, we have the Arms Room Show. This week, they're discussing selecting proper targets for your training and not using bad tactics against them. What does that mean? Take a listen to find out. That's the Arms Room Show. Next up, we got Chasing Happiness. Overcoming Fear and Finding Your Voice with Peter George. If you get that feeling of being nervous, anxious every time you have to speak in front of others, do you want to learn how to overcome public speaking and the fear of public speaking? Then you definitely want to listen to this. Peter George is I would say at this point, a lifetime guy that has been public speaking for 30 plus years. He coaches people how to publicly speak and not get nervous and do it very well. He's got a TEDx and whatnot as well. So check it out. It's Chasing Happiness. Great episode. Next up, we got the Joel Evans Show. This one, awesome episode. Levi's, Levi jeans. You guys heard of Levi's, right? Levi's future first ever woman CEO was pushed out for sticking up for kids. Jennifer Say was on track to become the first woman CEO of Levi Strauss & Company. As the president of the Levi's brand, she was widely celebrated as a versatile and inspirational leader who had helped save the iconic brand from bankruptcy. So what happened that she got pushed out? Take a listen. Great episode. I loved it. Rise Up, Ignite Your Life. Go check out our friends from Battle 2B. They got some cool things that they're making over there. Great organization. Check them out. Battle 2B. They have a podcast, Rise Up, Ignite Your Life. They got some new episodes coming here shortly. Next up, we got Label Free Podcast. Topic this week, environmental factors affecting testosterone levels in men. Dr. Ors, a man's life coach and former regenerative surgeon, Dr. O shares his mythology behind coaching successful business people and helping them create kick-ass lives for themselves and their loved ones. And then he also talks about his passion for anti-aging therapies and cutting-edge treatments. Pretty cool episode. Label Free Podcast. Next up, we got Because Bikers Matter podcast. Our host and good friend David, a.k.a. Vegas Schumann, visits Leathers for You. It's a small local business just in Illinois. He sits down with the queen bee of the shop, Susie Kellner, to learn about the business started, why they started it, and what they have to offer. They talk about custom leather goods, how they used recycled materials, unique braking systems, and everything that they do to incorporate environmentally friendly elements into their shop. So pretty cool episode. Check it out. Because Bikers Matter podcast. Next up, Time to Shine Today with our man Scott Ferguson. Hey, have you thought about writing a nonfiction book? You should. This week, the book professor, Nancy Eckerson. Nancy Eckerson, the book professor, coaches business professionals to become authors of high-impact nonfiction books. She owns 2 book-related businesses, The Book Professor and Stone Book Publishing, which I personally have heard, and myself being in the publishing era myself as HMG. She's an award-winning nonfiction. It's a nonfiction publishing house that's won a dozen or so awards. She's absolutely, the organization's amazing. Check it out. But she talks about how to write a book, a nonfiction book, and what you can do. So check it out. It's time to shine today. We got your 6 at 6 is next with the People's Patriot Project every Sunday night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Love their show. Go check them out. Give them a follow. God's Good Table. They are on the road doing some events. Go follow their Instagram page. That's where they put up a lot of their content. I absolutely love it. God's Good Table. Check them out. The Power of Investing in People podcast with Shay Sparks. This show just went live this morning about 2 hours ago. And it's The Power of Sharing Your Story Part 2. She talks about, well, there's power in telling your story, first off, right? And this episode, she shares part 2 of her own personal heartfelt story of abuse, addiction, anger, depression, low self-esteem, low self-worth, being bullied, and being the bully. There's a disclaimer on this. It may trigger some people, and she knows that. But know that you can overcome anything. Christina, good morning, sis. How are you? Appreciate you jumping on. Thank you very much. Sponsors, Carrabba's down at Fayetteville. Love him. It's the one on Sycamore Dairy Road. If you're ever down in Fayetteville, North Carolina, go over to Carrabba's. Tell them we said hello. My Tax Fella. Listen, business owners, you need somebody checking out your stuff, your books. Go to mytaxfella.com. Tell my boy Anthony we said hello and that we sent you over there. Alibi Tattoo, Honor Brewing, Forget Genetics. Forget Genetics. If you use HMG as a promo code, they'll give you 10% off. Go check them out. Motorcycle Safety Lawyers. You guys, if you ride, you should have these guys on speed dial. Seriously. Motorcycle Safety Lawyers, great organization. Go check them out. Gotta Hold Brewing over in Eureka Springs. My friend Wendy and her husband own that place. Go check them out if you're ever down in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Absolutely love it. JB Auto Clothiers. This organization, they're the ones that do these fancy and nice jackets and suits that I get to rock every week. So go check out JB Auto Clothiers. Great organization. Veteran-owned suits and jackets made in America. What else? I'm going to take a minute here. What do you guys have? Any questions, comments, cries of outrage, anything that you guys want me to cover next week? I'll wait. Do me a favor, guys. Hit that share button and get this out. The stuff that we talked about this morning is a pretty big deal. And, again, I left the links for you guys to kind of do your own research on this stuff. But the big thing is I talk a lot about, current events. And a lot of that stuff I have to pull from the mainstream media. I don't like doing it. But it's important that we kind of figure it out, kind of see the take that they're taking on it, and then come up with our own, do our research and come up with our own solution, or why they're doing it. We should be asking a lot more questions. Mark, Patriot Pride, brother, appreciate you. Hope all is well. So, the fires in Canada, France, we talked about that. 15-minute cities. I'm really curious, would you guys live in a 15-minute city? And mark my words, UFOs, we've been talking about UFOs for decades, right? Ever since Roswell, safe to say. Are we going to see more of that? And if so, why? Somebody mentioned earlier, scare tactic. Could be. Could be. Do some research on it. Let me know what you guys think. I want to hear from you guys. And then check out the what was I saying? UCC 9-307. What it says in black and white, where the United States is located. Go to the website, the Law of Cornell. If you scroll through this, you'll see the link that I gave you guys, and see the difference there. And in a couple of weeks, more and more of it's going to make sense. I'm I'm sending this information out to you guys in very, very small pieces. If you listen to this week's Decision Hour show, it explains a lot of it, and it gives you more and more resources that you can actually go to and see for yourself in black and white. And believe it or not, you would think that a lot of it is very confusing and doesn't. There's a reason why they do that. I say they, meaning like the policy writers and stuff like that. But once you start, again, putting the puzzle pieces together, things start to be very clear and start to make a lot of sense. So that's it. Listen, and fatherhood, listen, I'm going to tell you guys this. If you guys are parents, spend as much time with your kids as you can, because when they grow up and they start their own lives, the time that you get with them is limited. And so enjoy the time that you do have, and don't take it personally if they want to leave early and whatnot. Communication is key, as you guys know. I'm not lecturing. I'm just saying enjoy the time that you get to spend with them. So that being said, make sure you guys do a buddy check with all your battle buddies this weekend. Give your friends a shout. Let them know that you're there for them, that you love them, that you miss them. And just check on them, see how they're doing. That being said, be the light in somebody's darkness. Smile a lot, make someone laugh, and know someone cares. God bless you. God bless America. We'll see you guys next week. Take care.